So yeah, I don't know exactly when I'm leaving, but I have to go do a meeting real quick and talk apart. So I should say goodbye now, and then if I see you around the rest of the day, like it'll be awkward because I'll already say goodbye. But so yeah, I learned a lot this week. It's been really inspiring to work both with, actually not both because there's 3 teams, with Fnatic and CLG and you guys, because working with the most driven players teaches me really quickly like what is useless information and what is useful for you guys, and you discard immediately like the junk that like isn't going to help you, and that helps me like to determine like how to help the next person like even better. And I appreciate that because I am aiming for a kind of balanced life. I'm not trying to be an elite competitor anymore, and so I don't have access to that world. I don't have access to that operating system that you guys run on. And so these kinds of things are really valuable for me. So I just wanted to say thank you for that and say that I really appreciate how hard you're trying and how hard you drive yourself. And it really like helps me like double down on the stuff that I'm doing to myself to try to make my life a model. And I know I don't do a very good job on that, and that's part of the reason I think that I don't do a good job is what motivates me to do better. So thanks for your ambition, thanks for your drive, thanks for your hard work, and good job on all the stuff that you picked up this week. It really just came through you. I mean, I provide the tools, but I've worked with so many people who never picked them up, and so many people who pick them up and like don't know what to do with them in a game and just cannot remember them and don't have a system for like developing and improving. So I'm available on Skype like anytime you want to talk about anything. Just say hi and ask questions, and I always have some time somewhere to visit if you have any concerns. Otherwise, I'll be meeting you all on Twitter back and forth, I'm sure. So ciao.
Everyone say thank you to Weldon.
Thanks, Weldon.
Thank you, Weldon.
And good job dumpstering CLG.
Into the camera. Into the camera.
Weldon's week here was something I had pretty much already experienced when I was on CLG, but it was a good refresher course for basically like tools that you can use for the rest of your career when it comes to like focus and very like directed practice. Also meditation is really important. Like I always do it before LCS games. I try to do it every time before scrims, and when he came in and he gave me like a refresher, like make sure when you're meditating to take note of these things, help me kind of remember what he had taught me originally. And yeah, he basically just gave us all a toolkit to become better competitors and to think about things differently and to always like question our instincts. So I don't think it was like one of those things where like, okay, our learning is done for this week. It's something that you can constantly use and expand on forever. And he was super helpful. He basically showed everyone on the team what our head coach could have been. And that was like very eye-opening, I think. So all of us have a lot of respect for him, especially me. And I hope I can somehow manage to continue working with him, even though he got signed Ember.
I got to work with Doublelift on CLG, and then I got to work with him on TSM. And first of all, working on both sides of that rivalry has been a really cool experience. Like my kids grew up kind of watching Hotshot GG on stream, and now last week I got to chant TSM for the very first time, you know, while they were kind of crushing my old team that I used to work with a few months ago. And so Doublelift kind of has the same experience, right? He got to be on both sides of that rivalry, and he's just a really genuine person. The thing that I like about Peter is that he doesn't filter himself. He just kind of says what he's thinking. And he's always, you know, just so enthusiastic about everything that he does. The moment that he learns something, he's all about it. And the moment that he learns something slightly different, he's all about it again. And it's just such a pleasure to work with him because I get to learn stuff about how high performance works by talking to him and then seeing what he does with it. And that's been really exciting.
Today, for my birthday, we went out to eat. It was really nice. Really nice weather. It was really sunny, and I wanted to practice again, but it is not healthy to just like play every day a lot of hours. We sometimes need a break, and it felt really nice having like a lunch with the team and then trying to go for a walk. And it's always cool to get to know more about your teammates, and it really helps in terms of trust, in terms of communication. Everything is way easier, and yeah, I'm really happy. It was a nice day.
There is a big stigma about us being uncoachable, especially probably like me and maybe Bjergsen, because we're super prolific and people know that we have like strong opinions. So I don't know. I think me personally, I've shown I can be coached because I had a great coach in the past. I was coached really well for at least 6 months, and I mean we have high expectations. You know, like when people come in and they set the expectations, and they don't meet them and they continue not to meet them constantly, it is like super debilitating for us and for them. Like I'm totally willing to listen to someone who's really smart. So for example, Weldon, when he comes in, I listen to everything he says, and every time I work with him, we have like a lot of respect for each other, and I always listen to him as my mentor.
So when I came into the house, I think TSM was kind of like trying to experiment with other ways of coaching, and Casey, he reminded me a lot of myself when I was, in my mid or early 20s, like kind of coming in to a head coaching position. And like for me though, it was like a YMCA sports level club, it wasn't a professional sports team. So I kind of empathize with him that like he might have been a little bit out of his element in terms of like needing to deliver on results at a really high level. Because to be honest, like this is professional sports and it's the W that matters at the end of the day. And that the athletes like on this team want nothing but to win and to grow every single day. So it's really challenging to come in with as kind of like, at the beginning of your coaching career with kind of like a little bit of experience, but not a lot of training, and say like, take over as a head coach for performance across all aspects. And that's a real challenge. So I can understand, why in a season where every single week matters, that TSM is kind of like looking to spend their money as effectively as they can to win.
Basically, I think a lot of the players just didn't respect him as much because he kind of like changed his attitude towards everyone in the team. He went from like super nice, friendly guy into like the strict guy, and I don't think anyone was able to take him seriously. And when Weldon came in, everyone knew like what Weldon was, what he did, and everyone like respected his opinion a lot. Casey didn't have much game knowledge and therefore wasn't really able to help us like get better at the game. And he had like a lot of goals where he wanted us to like be focused on the match, like stuff like that. And he gave us like a lot of speeches, but I don't think they were really effective. And in terms of team communication, he didn't really help us because he didn't know what to do or like what we need to work on.
We first brought Josh and Casey in around IEM, and when he was first introduced, his interactions with the team were extremely positive. He had a good idea of how to personalize the different aspects of the players' daily lives and structure the team. I observed the team very closely in the first few weeks, and I gave him feedback pretty often, but Casey had no concrete answers on how to resolve the issues that the team were facing, and especially his relationship with the players that slowly degraded over time. While he tried his best, most of the things that he tried were ineffective, and he definitely lost the respect of a lot of the players. Over time, it became clear to me that Casey would not be able to meet the expectations that we set out for him, and it didn't make a lot of sense for us as an organization to continue to invest in him as a coach. The only thing that I do know is we see the value in a strong, mature presence to help lead this team. And until we find that person deserving of this roster, I'll be stepping in to take on some of Casey's responsibilities, as well as helping out Josh setting the strategic direction of the team. I have a few notes that Wilden sent me to tell you guys. Don't play for the clean game. It'll make you play not to lose instead of playing to win. Clean games are things that you earn by being good. He said step 1 is to fight hard. He said step 2 is to be proactive and aggressive and let your testosterone control your risk, not your fear. And then step 3 is afterward. Look at the game after and choose your level of satisfaction. Whether it be disappointed seeing growth or whether or not it was a clean game. What you get is what you deserve as a combination of your work, perseverance, and sort of the luck of the sport. So, with that in mind, let's go backstage. Okay, Cloud9 sent us.
Well, TSM keeps sole possession of second place over Cloud9. Catch them with a victory. Tweet your predictions to @LOL Esports with the hashtag TSM or the hashtag Cloud9win.
This might backfire on him, though. Svenskeren looking for the counter.
Don't think they knew that Svenskeren was
Mini
there.
wave, too.
Oh, bops him back, and he may just get bopped all the way. Hanser's forced to flash out. He gets taken down. Jensen comes up with a play there. TP's away. He's up towards the top turret now. He's perfectly fine. Bjergsen could easily get caught here, but they don't want to mess with Svenskeren so close to the turret still.
Oh, the micro.
Maybe he does. Rush going in. Bites off more than he can chew. And the wild card, not so wild, picks up its target. Finding Svenskeren. He's just about to have his to heal it up. Yellow Star pulling back. His Unbreakable's now down. Could not get the barrel to go off. Spreads the team and actually hurts Bjergsen engaged there, but Rush gets pushed into the right spot. Another one for Double Lift. He's going to be able to move forward with the team. Another one for Double Lift. Can we get a third coming in? They've got the slows. They've got the pressure. Hanser's going to hammer that one home. And Double Lift, you can see calm, cool, and collected as the team calling the shots. They're going to head for Baron. In a Sonic Wave and a follow-up onto Double Lift. They're going to lose the inhibitor here without even pressuring back. And that may be it. It's on to Yellowstar. Damage is absolutely huge from Balls and the rest of the team. They are shredding Team Solo Mid right now. Jensen goes to the back just so he can make sure he has priority targets. That's going to be a Zanya's for Jensen. The kill going over onto Bjergsen, and now they're going to finalize a few more. Hanser taking his last breath as Cloud9 finally defends the base. Position, and C9 is going to use this to their advantage.
The zoning there. Double Lift didn't get to auto attack. He didn't get to stand still. He was on the edge.
There in Double Lift, he's getting too close. As soon as Svenskeren and Yellow Star went in, that was it. Cloud9 have held their breath 46 minutes waiting for the right fights, waiting to scale, waiting for the right items, and they have found it now. Pushing down mid lane, they will take down Team Solo Mid. 20-26, 46 minutes in, Cloud9 take down TSM.
I think the game was fine until we chased into GP in the river. We started Baron, we turned, we killed one, but then we keep chasing, I think, and then we lost a lot of tempo there, and they could scale up again.
When we were on Baron, they GP ulted, so I had to leave.
Oh yeah, but this was fine. But then we chased past mid through bottom river in the Drake, and we kept chasing GP into barrels and into a lot of damage. But I think this was still fine. But as the time goes on, GP does so much damage if we don't kill the barrels. But yeah, it sucks.
There's not much to say in that. Unless you think something differently.
Whatever.
I think we had an opportunity where we should have gotten more control over mid. When his double was ran out and he had no flash for like 3 minutes. Maybe we just weren't on the same page early game at all. Just like last time, the game against C9 is really interesting. Obviously really fun for the fans to watch, but
For me, I'm not really too happy with my own performance, but my team, especially Bora and Doublelift, they played really well in the mid game, and they pretty much just carried the team all the way to late game, where the rest of us could kind of start joining the game. So they really carried a lot of weight, but we didn't manage to win. There were just a lot of fights where just like, oh, one person doing something slightly different, or just not getting caught by this, or not going into this time, we could have won any of those fights. And C9 also played these fights really well, especially Balls. Like everyone's talking about how good his gangplank was, and it was. So I think any kind of like lesser change in a mechanical skill or like a team fight or how someone played that team fight could have won the game. It could have definitely gone either way.
Okay. Are you in your Zen?
In my zen right now.
Good stuff.
Let's play.
Let's play!
You know this, it's the same thing every time. Hashtag TSM win, hashtag DIG win. At LOL Esports, hit it up. We're about to be on the Rift. This will be the turret if they focus. Doublelift trying to stay very safe. The aggression over onto the entire team in the mid lane. That's Yellowstar going down, but it's left Haunter and Doublelift to kind of fire off some shots here, and they are whittling down the HP bars of Dignitas.
Because he's really the only wave clear tool on this team, save for Svenskeren.
Right.
Oh, Kiwi!
Kiwi goes in. Svenskeren and Yellowstar immediately deleted. And look at this. They have switched goal side. Dig's coming from TSM's side, and they're pushing him into their own base. They are going to get wiped out here. Did they even take damage in that fight? Apollo, the only one to really get scratched.
Barely. They could actually run towards this Baron and pick it up. Baron for Dignitas. Kiwi gets off on the side. He's going to try to flank double it if he can.
I have no flash.
Coming. I'm dead. Good. The also flash?
No.
Okay, we have to hold 50. There we come with Baron. Try to push the lanes as much as we can.
Alistair flashed. I'm holding Kevin.
I ult.
Malphite ult. Malphite ulted. Lulu, stay alive. We can do it. Everyone stay alive. We can do this.
They're going in towers. They will just finish. We need to go.
Oh. Alright, GG.
Oh.
Little play there from Dignitas. Wow. Capitalizing on the weaknesses in the composition from TSM and playing their game. Capitalizing on the weaknesses in the composition from TSM and playing their game for one of the first times in the split. They moved to 4-8, and that ties up TIP and Echo Fox, and those teams play each other. So
Like,
if we have a two-threat comp,
Wait,
we essentially had a two-threat comp.
I was shitting all over their whole team that game. They have triple ADs, none of them have higher range than me.
No.
I was just...
Like, we essentially played a two-threat comp because Quinn was fucked. And when Quinn fell behind, we didn't do anything to try to get back in the game. We just abandoned Quinn. And then Quinn was useless.
But it felt like constantly they're sending their duo into Quinn's lane. Quinn has so much mobility and kill potential. You just chase him down the lane 100%, but we're just so slow.
Like at some point we just let them like do everything they want, and we are reacting when like sometimes we have tempo, but our initial reaction is to go catch, go defend instead of initiating the play.
We wouldn't even have these conversations really if we just won those team fights.
Yeah. Team fights get hard when Quinn behind, but we could have still won because you were fed.
But we're better, so we should win.
For the dig game, I think our draft was okay, but our play in the game wasn't really focused around the Quinn pick, and I wasn't able to farm as much and didn't get any advantage in lane at all, so I fell really far behind, and when Quinn falls behind, she's like pretty useless because she can't engage or anything like that. And we just ended up losing in team fights because Quinn was really useless. And compared to last week where we went 2-0, and this week we went 0-2, it feels really bad because we thought we could like win both games this week, but we obviously still have some problems to work on, and everyone's just gonna try to work on those problems moving forward. But it still feels really bad, and we want to just practice as much as we can right now.
One thing for next week that I would just want to make sure we get right is obviously the draft, because it sucks being at a disadvantage already going into the game, and it's partly everyone's fault because that individual player should also know what is the best and should have perhaps discussed that with the coach beforehand, and just thinking about more scenarios and exactly what we should pick in each, because I feel like we didn't come exactly as prepared as we should have, and we weren't really ready for some of the most obvious things that C9 and Dig was going to pull against us. So I think our draft this week wasn't as good as previous weeks, and we need to make sure we're staying on top of the meta regardless of new patches constantly coming up.